Don't miss Country Music Duo of the Year, Dan and Shay. Sunday, September 12th at the Highway 77 Music Festival at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Joining Dan and Shay is Maddie and Tay, Tyler Farr, Eric Pasley, and country powerhouse Dustin Lynch. Get your festival tickets now for a full day of country hits with evening rockin' concerts from Dustin Lynch and Dan and Shay. Go to halloffamevillage.com. That's halloffamevillage.com.
Live and local.
How's that sound?
And you're listening to News Talk 1480 WHBC.
And good morning, everyone. Well, actually, we're getting closer to afternoon, but welcome back to our final day of Health Week here on 1480 WHBC. Pam Cook here, and I told you all morning long, and we were leading up to surprising you with some great guests here for the next half hour. And it's going to be interesting. This is going to be fun. I can't wait to talk to these guys. We're going to bring in two guys who are, well, both broadcasters and both coaches, funny enough, but also both have been fitted for hearing aids by Jim Morris here at Hear Inc. And we bring in, of course, WHBC's Joe Palmisano. And also we have with us former Cavs coach and, of course, veteran broadcaster Mike Fratello. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Morning, everyone.
Glad to have you with us. So I do find it quite interesting that you're both coaches and both broadcasters. So let's start with you, Joe. You met Jim and his family, and you knew that you had a hearing issue. And I kind of joked that you and I had many one-on-one conversations, and I thought you were just ignoring me because we didn't agree on something. But it was truly because you couldn't hear me, and you weren't sure exactly everything I was saying, correct?
And it's just kind of a subtle thing. I think it's funny that you have two coaches who have both lost hearing problems. Pam, I actually believe we did it on purpose because we got tired of being called idiots and dumb. And we heard all the things from the stands, and we purposely caused our hearing to go bad so we could shut that out. But yeah, I was missing words, and I found myself sitting across at business lunches and different things, and especially the S's and the T's and the little things like that. And through my relationship at WHBC, and I met Jim, and it just changed then. It's been much better.
What about you, Mike? How did it all start out for you?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Pam.
He's just like
I was
you.
waiting
What
for
is
that.
that? What is that about coaches? Honest to gosh, he has the same sense of humor as you do, Joe.
What complicated the matter for everyone is the fact that COVID came along and you had to put a mask on. And as you start to lose part of your hearing, we rely so much on our eyes to be able to read the lips, the mouth of the people that we're speaking with. And when that was taken away, then you were really in trouble. And I think it's being Italian, a little bit hard-headed, I guess. You don't want to admit to the fact that perhaps your hearing is not the same as it was 15, 20 years ago. And you try to get by and you try to get by, and then they put a mask on people and they make it that much harder for you. So it's just another obstacle that you had to try and overcome. But at some point, you need to look in the mirror and admit the fact that you're not the same age as you were 15, 20 years ago, and your hearing's not the same. And after having a number of tests at the Cleveland Clinic for just the overall general checkup that you get once a year or however often you go, and the same thing kept coming up as they got to the hearing part of it, they would make you aware of the fact that this is where we think you are, and you need to see someone about that. And then Jim Morris comes along and makes things better.
Yeah. And, what was it that made you take the step? I mean, and I know, and you're talking about everything that you two have in common. Being obstinate is something that I could also say is a guy thing too. I mean, and Jim was telling me earlier that the vanity part of it for guys is worse for men than it is for women.
No doubt. No doubt.
And maybe because we have hair covering our ears
Yeah.
or whatever it might be. But was it like that for both of you? Was the vanity part of it tough?
I think it's not so much. Yes, I didn't want anything in the back of my ear. Okay. I just didn't. And also it's the fact, like Mike said, that, oh my gosh, I've reached a point in my life where I need hearing aids. You don't want to admit that. You don't want to admit that you're getting older. You don't want any signs of it. And so, yeah, the vanity part of it's there. I can't lie about that.
Pam, let me throw this one out there. After one of the early examinations at the clinic, and another one of those, it's some loss of hearing shows up. So I went to a place and asked them, what could we do? Let's experiment. So they actually went ahead and ordered me, they showed me a bunch I could pick from. I selected what I thought might be the best one for me. It comes back, and unfortunately, the people that were supplying it did not understand what the person that was ordering it was trying to say. It came back, and there was this huge thing sticking out of my ear. I didn't say a word. When I went back to the house, I didn't say a word. I had it in and just kind of walked in the kitchen, and two teenagers both come into the room and go, "Oh my God, what's going on?" I said, "Well, glad nobody noticed that I had something hanging out of it." So that was a big part of it for me. It was like a thank you very much. Here they are. Goodbye. That's not what I want.
Absolutely.
Did you have any times that you experienced a situation where you were like embarrassed by what happened to you? I mean, you're talking about the hearing aids part of it, but where the moment, it was like a moment for you, it was an aha moment where you went, oh gosh, I really do need to get some kind of help.
No, for me, it was being obstinate and always thinking that I can get by on my own. There was never an aha moment. There was a whole series of small aha moments. Or let me put it this way. There was a bunch of what moments where I'd be sitting there and it'd be a crowded restaurant and somebody's talking and I'm missing the whole conversation and shaking my head like I understand, and then realizing that I had missed something important or someone was talking to me. There were also times when I just, would miss a word or two and I'd have to say, pardon me. But being stubborn, a stubborn Italian man, I just kept going and thought I could get by my own. And like Mike said, when the mask came, but I had my hearing aids before the mask, but that would have been miserable.
Frankly, Joe, I thought that you were having some kind of, dementia situation. And I don't mean to make light of that, but because I would tell you things and then like days later I'd say, okay, are you going to do that or whatever? And you would, what? I don't even remember you saying that.
But Pam, that could be another issue. That could be true.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. We're talking hearing here.
Okay, sorry. Mike, what about you? Did you have any kind of aha moment?
There were a couple along the way, as Joe mentioned. But Joe, did you find yourself when conversations were going on, if you were not able to hear them clearly, did you find your mind would be drifting into something else? Oh, when I get back, I got to make a phone call to this person, or I have to call this guy. So the conversation's going on, but you're not really zeroed in on what's being said. And what happened one day, which was terrible, but my next door neighbor, maybe the kindest, gentlest person you'll ever meet in your life, walks over and he has tears coming out of his eyes. He's welling up with tears and said, my cat passed away. And I didn't hear him say his cat passed away. So from the time he stopped talking, I go into like, well, what do you think about, like, didn't understand the moment, didn't understand this is like a prized possession. He had 2 cats that were sisters, and one of them had passed away, and I didn't get it. And when I was told later on, do you understand that you just went from him saying my cat passed away, tears in his eyes, and you went into like your next topic without even acknowledging the fact? And I said, oh my goodness, I had to call up and apologize because I was so embarrassed about it.
Yeah, that's sad.
Wow.
That's sad.
Well, oh my gosh. We're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the process for each of you and how that went with Jim Morris and with Hearing. And I also want to talk a little bit about sports, just a little bit with the two of you. I've got some questions for you in that realm. And our Health Week will continue here on 1480 WHBC with Joe Palmisano and Mike Fratello. Download the iHeart, Odyssey, or Radio.com app. Be sure to check out our website daily for the latest at WHBC.com. Yeah, that's perfect.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Cleveland area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. 5005 Rockside Road, Suite 350, Independence, Ohio 44131.
UFOs are back, even if the military can't explain them. Now, Rob Schmidt takes a look at the big mystery in his series, UFOs, Are They Really Here? Airing all this week on Newsmax TV. Millions are watching Newsmax. It's on all major cable systems, and they're downloading the free Newsmax app on their smartphones. Get the latest on these strange UFOs and watch Rob Schmidt on Newsmax, the new network everyone is talking about.
Meet Bob Minetti. In 2016, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Bob participated in a clinical trial that included cutting-edge radiation therapy and surgery. He's been in remission since completion. I'm Keisha Sharp. Since losing my mother to pancreatic cancer, I've been working to share the kind of state-of-the-art work being done by Stand Up to Cancer and Lustgarten Foundation. To learn more about the latest research, including clinical trials, visit pancreaticcancercollective.org.
My name is Kate Courtley, and this is my new show, Can You Survive This Podcast? I'll be drawing on my years as a former Navy SEAL platoon commander, sniper, and CIA contractor. The show is designed to teach you techniques that will increase your chances of survival if you happen to find yourself or your family in any life-threatening disaster scenario imaginable. Subscribe and listen for free on Apple Podcasts. Can You Survive This Podcast?
Shop local. What better way to support our local economy than to eat local? Stark County has a great variety of dining options, like Joey's Kendall Tavern, Massillon's oldest gathering place, family-friendly, and serving the best tavern fare since 1891. And for great takeout, it's Smith's Waco Market, home of Wild Bill's Pizza, chicken, wings, Amish baked goods, ice cream, and much more. There is so much to love at Smith's Waco Market.
When you shop local, everybody wins. Shop local.
Live and local.
How's that sound?
And you're listening to News Talk 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Health Week on 1480 WHBC. And we are streaming live at WHBC Stream on our Facebook page at 1480 WHBC. Also on our YouTube channel, just search 1480 WHBC. You'll find us there. If you missed any of today's program, you can check it out there. It'll be stored in the video section, so you can do that. Right now, I am being joined on our video stream and also on the radio, of course, by Joe Palmisano and Mike Fratello, recognizable faces and names to all of our listeners on WHBC, of course. And so I want to talk about the process. I want to talk about, getting the hearing aid. Mike, what was it like for you, making the appointment, coming in and actually, going through the steps to get the hearing aids fitted?
Pam, the process is taking place in Philadelphia, if you haven't realized it. And that's with the 76ers right now, hoping that they can get Embiid back on a healthy knee. But the appointment and the gym were incredible for me. It was enlightening. He's such an intelligent person and filled me in on things I'd never thought about, never paid attention to, about how much I look at people's lips when they speak, because if you're losing part of your hearing, you resort to your eyes of picking up words that maybe you didn't hear, but you read the person's lips. All these little subtle things. And I don't know if he doesn't have a gizmo that's out there right now to test different parts of your canals, and in letting me know where he felt I was. I felt very confident and comfortable in his presence and doing the process.
I love that technical term, gizmo. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because, it's great. And Joe, what was it like for you?
Well, to me, it was like a game. You go in, you press a button, you listen to sounds, and it was kind of fun, and it was just easy. And Jim just walks you through the whole process. But I have a better story, if I could take 1 minute.
Yeah.
Jim my mother, 99 years old, just got hearing aids. Jim came to the house. I met him there. He walked my mom through the test. Now imagine this. He's trying to talk to a 99 stubborn Italian woman. And he's trying to get her to do things and push things and push the button. And she goes through the whole test. He comes back a week later, fits her with hearing aids. Miracle. I used to walk in the house and the TV would be up so loud, and my sister lives there. She's screaming. Everybody's screaming. I'm screaming. And now you walk in and the TV is normal. She hears, even though she's stubborn and says they don't work. It's so much different. And he took the time to do this with her and walk a 99-year-old woman through this. And it was unbelievable. Who is that guy?
I don't know. We're showing right now a picture on the website of Joe getting his hearing test with Jim Morris at Hearing. And, I guess, when you go through the process, and did you have any trouble afterwards? I mean, once you got your hearing aids, because Jim, he's very honest when he says everybody, you have adjustments and things have to be, fixed or made personal for you. So is that what happened for you guys?
Go ahead, Mike.
I would say that everything he told me was going to take place and was going to happen. He was right on target. And being, first of all, being uncertain when I went in because of what had happened with the previous incident of this large potato kind of hanging out of my ear.
When the other banana.
Yeah. So, I'm a little skeptical. What's this going to be like? But as I mentioned, he just seemed to be further ahead, further down the road, not only with his knowledge, his ability. I think, Joe, one of his biggest pluses is his ability to communicate with people, make you feel comfortable, make you understand what you're going through and how he can fix this or make it better for you without trying to pretend there's a miracle out there waiting to happen.
Exactly.
That someday these hearing aids are going to disappear because they've made you back to what you used to be when you were 20 years old. Not happening that way, but he's honest about it.
Yeah. And I think the other part is his patience. his patience with me through the whole thing and being stubborn as I am. And then his patience with my mom was unbelievable. I'm yelling at her and he like pulls me aside and says, just be patient with her. She's going to get it. She'll get it. And he is, he's really, his personality is just the way it needs to be to make this happen, because it's a big adjustment for people. It's a big adjustment for men. It's a big adjustment for anyone. And he walks you through that.
We have to take a break. Can you guys hang on for a few more minutes? Can we take you into the next segment just real quick?
That's up to Mike.
I'm good, Joe. I'm a good listener, a good follower.
Then follow me into the next segment, okay? All right, we'll take a break and we will continue here at Here Inc. in North Canton on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Hi, this is Therese with That Little Italian Kitchen. Today I brought a special guest, Joey Cannoli.
First off, I'm not very special, but I'm going to tell you something that's real special. Besides Therese, it's them cannolis. Get there as fast as you can. She runs out every time I go. I get there, they're gone. What are you going to do? Get there fast.
So hurry and get there before Joey Cannoli comes to 5730 Fulton Drive, Northwest in Canton, across the street from Lake Cable.
That Little Italian Kitchen.
Hi, this is Jim Snyder of the Your Wealth, Your Retirement Program, a financial education show for those seeking guidance. Are you retiring soon? Are you in the middle of changing jobs? Maybe you're just done with all of that risk in the 401k plan and you'd like to have a discussion about an early rollout. Maybe you're 70 and a half and you're in your income phase of your IRA. We can help you with all those. Give us a call at Senior Financial Group at 800-639-0824. That's 800-639-0824.
Okay, 3 dozen by tomorrow morning. Yeah, the roses and
Faraz's flower shop is blooming. To keep up with high demand, he must strengthen his business's roots.
Just 1 second. Faraz's flowers. Hold, please. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Faraz's.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Is your credit card debt piling up? Pacific Debt can help. Pacific Debt is the nation's friendliest debt settlement company. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of 5-star reviews on sites like Trustpilot and Best Company, they can settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. In fact, they've settled over $300 million, helping people just like you. Get a monthly program payment you can afford and 0 upfront fees. Get free information now. 800-281-9981. 800-281-9981.
Our children are the future of our great nation. But the radical left is targeting their education, bringing radical critical race theory into Ohio classrooms, indoctrinating our students to despise and reject the history of America, to see everything through the lens of race, to embrace Marxism as a tool to control behavior. It's extreme and it's dangerous. I'm Jane Timken. I'm a mom, a fighter, and a proud pro-Trump candidate for United States Senate. I won't sit back and let the radical left try to turn our children against America and transform our nation into a socialist country. As your next senator, I will fight for you, your family, and your children's right to an education that celebrates the greatness and values of America. I will stop the radical left and advance President Trump's America First agenda. I'm Jane Timken, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jane Timken for Ohio.
Napa know-how. Some things just go better together, like a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil and a platinum filter for $26.48. It's like bacon and eggs, hot dogs and mustard, or Joni and Chachi. Ask your dad about it. That's Napa full synthetic and a platinum filter for $26.48. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 6/30/21.
At Ohio Means Jobs, we're eager to assist you virtually or in person. We're offering on-site services by appointment only on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at both our Stark County and Tuscarawas County offices. Stay connected to our services virtually through telephone and email Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30.
If you're thinking of buying a water softener, make Verndale's Water Center your first stop. And a free reverse osmosis drinking water system is included. Take advantage of 0% financing for 1 year. For clean, clear, great tasting water, call Verndale's Water Center today.
Verndale's Water Center.
WHBC AM Ken, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
WHBC News now 76 degrees and always something new about coronavirus. And now a more contagious form of the virus expected to become dominant in the U.S., according to the Centers for Disease Control.
The CDC says the Delta variant of COVID-19 makes up about 10% of U.S. cases. That one appears to be more contagious than the other variants.
It's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Though the state reported 244 new cases of coronavirus yesterday, none of them out of Stark County. It's not known if there genuinely were no new cases reported. The state website was experiencing technical problems yesterday. Number of cases per 100,000 people the last 2 weeks in Ohio dropping to 26.8 as of yesterday. The 6.5% sales tax in Stark County picking up a lot of dough this year, up 11% from last year. It's been a roller coaster, though, with March revenue up a whopping 42%.
We continue to monitor that sales tax because it's just growing exponentially. So just keep spending, folks.
Stark County Commissioner Janet Creighton, the state gets 5.75% of that. County Criminal Justice, 0.5%, SARTA, the other quarter. And they've never had this day off before. Suddenly, it's the Juneteenth federal holiday today.
This is the first federal holiday since the creation of Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 1983. Juneteenth marks the day slaves in Texas learned they were free 2 months after the Confederacy surrendered. President Biden says it's a day to learn from our history.
Celebrate progress and grapple with the distance we've come, but the distance we have to travel.
As June 19th falls on a Saturday, the official observance is today. Hundreds of companies are observing the holiday, but because of short notice, others are not. The Postal Service is delivering mail as usual.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. Bang, next news at noon, and when it breaks, Jim Michaels, WHBC News.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. An afternoon thunderstorm, very cloudy otherwise, and a high of 86. Storms can bring downpours, large hail, damaging winds, and a tornado. Storms continuing through this evening with a low of 68. Then tomorrow we'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine with a couple of heavy thunderstorms, especially late in the day. High on Saturday, 81. Partly sunny Sunday, high 88. I'm Holly Holdren for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Hey, Father's Day is coming up, and why not win some cash for Dad? No need to give him the same old for Father's Day. Get registered at WHBC.com, and you could win $1,000 for your father. Brought to you by Bears Lawn and Garden in North Canton at the corner of Portage and Wales.
When struggles seem too tough, when sickness takes a hold, when cancer picks a fight, when baby's on its way, when life throws you a curveball, we've got you. With nearly 130 years in your backyard, Altman knows you and knows your community better than anyone. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family, and we want you to be the healthiest you can be. Altman, we are ready. We've got you.
This is the Magnet Spotlight on Northeast Ohio manufacturers, and today we're talking to Mike Canty, president of Alloy Precision Technologies.
Core values are critical to a company. So our core values are teamwork. We win as a team. Innovation. We want to drive growth and profitability. New ideas in equipment, processes, new ideas in everything we do, in every single department. Passion. We excel through passion. If people have a passion in what they do, they're constantly excelling and they're developing and improving what's taking place. Accountability. Hold ourselves accountable, hold each other accountable. I tell them to hold me accountable. But that's how we get better at what we do. We try to drive those values across the board, and we communicate that in virtually everything we do.
Helping manufacturers for over 30 years, Magnet can help turn your ideas into reality. For more information, go to manufacturingsuccess.org.
Want to turn your old, rusty hunk of junk in for a nicer ride, but think it's not even worth a tank of gas? Think again. Progressive Jeep Ram will give you $5,000 for your trade, no matter the condition. That's right, $5,000 for any trade, guaranteed. When you buy any factory-certified pre-owned car, truck, or sport utility at Progressive Jeep Ram in Massillon. Needs repairs? No problem. Any rusty, smelly, noisy hunk of junk gets you $5,000 guaranteed. $5,000 could help you get approved. No other dealer will give you $5,000 for your cruddy car, but Progressive Jeep Ram will, guaranteed. Get $5,000 for your trade only at Progressive Jeep Ram. One trade per purchase. Offer applies to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram certified vehicles only. Does not apply to prior transactions and cannot be combined with any other advertised offers. See dealer for details. Ends June 30th, 2021. Get $5,000 for your trade only at Progressive Jeep Ram in Massillon.
Live and local.
How's that sound?
And you're listening to News Talk 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Health Week, everyone, on 1480 WHBC. This is our final day of Health Week. We've been having some great conversations all week long and appreciate everyone that's been participating. Today we are at Hearink, and we have with us right now former Cavs head coach and veteran broadcaster Mike Fratello, and also former WHBC host and former football coach Joe Palmisano. Guys, I'm going to pivot a little bit to some sports talk. And actually, I'm going to have Joe. Joe, what is that?
I wanted to ask Mike this. Mike, I know you're a basketball guy, but who is that guy in the middle of the picture?
All right, since we are talking about deficiencies that we have in our hearing, another thing that takes place is, let me slide those back on.
Put his glasses on.
In the middle,
a fellow Italian, famous.
In between you and somebody else.
I know there's a really handsome guy on the one side of the picture who I recognize. So tell me who that is in the middle.
That is Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
No, oh, Boomer. Are you kidding me? I run into him at so many charity events and fundraisers. One of the great people.
I know, I agree.
Great individual. Great.
I know.
We had him on the air not too long ago because we did a remote from up in Warren at the country club up there, and just a couple of weeks ago, actually, he was hilarious.
Oh, he is.
We had to be careful. We had to put it on, delay. There was no doubt about that. So, but
Yes.
Joe, I want you to share with Mike your experience of when you almost became a basketball player. Because I know that really somewhere deep down you wanted to be a basketball player, right? Because Mike, he was a college football player, and
I played college football, but the reason that all changed is in 8th grade at Jennings Junior High School. I still remember the coach, Coach Matsoulis. He was the 8th grade basketball coach. I had finally fouled out of probably my 5th game. He came in the locker room after the game and he said, "Joe, I think you should concentrate on football." And I said, "You know what?" I wasn't even sad. It was like, yeah, this isn't working. There's not enough contact, although there is now. But
you hurt people, didn't you?
I just didn't know how to play. Everything was bumping into people and things. And so basketball has it was the best advice I had because I concentrated on football. Obviously, the rest is history. But I appreciated his honesty, and you probably would have told me the same thing. And by the way, I respect you as a basketball coach more than anyone I have ever seen coach, except for maybe Coach Wooden or somebody like that. But you have done tremendous things, and I loved you as a Cavs coach, by the way.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Joe. Joe, as you were describing yourself, I'm thinking back. I had a number of players that were just like you, and they just didn't get it. You know, I was trying to be delicate with them when I would talk to them, but they just didn't get it.
Mike, I have to ask you, what was it like dealing with referees? I mean, you know, when you were an NBA coach. I mean, because we all sit on the sidelines, and you know,
referees have come such a long way in being able to deal with people. And I had a very hard time dealing with officials who were arrogant and felt that they should control the game. Someone had to make them understand that the people that were there in the stands, whether it was 16,000, 18,000, did not pay their money to see the officials run up and down with striped shirts on, blowing their whistles and trying to show everyone that I can control this game. That bothered me. I also understood they have egos. They want to do well, but they also needed, I thought, to understand where they were in perspective to players, wins and losses, coaches' jobs, missed calls. As we know, everybody's going to miss a call here and there, but how they handled it. And there were a handful that got it way back when I first came in. You know, I first was brought into the NBA by Hubie Brown when I was 31 years old. I got my first head coaching job at 36 years old after being an assistant in the league for 5 years. So I had a lot of time to watch, a lot of time to pay attention, the interaction between them. The NBA has done an incredible job in the last 10 to 15 years of bridging the gap, making them understand the volatility of the game, the high emotions that are going on out there, and what these coaches and players are going through because of the monies that are being paid, what's expected of them, and the crowds and media. Every day, you know, now social media is so much larger and have to deal with so much more than you had to 15, 20 years ago. So understanding and having that rapport and understanding, looking at yourself, being able to say, is this something that I should get out of control over, or am I going to hurt my team more than help my team? And there came a point where I said to myself as a coach, you getting thrown out of a game is not helping your team at all. And you keep getting thrown out of games, your owner's going to find somebody else that can stick around for the whole game and be there. So you try to get better at, you know,
that's so true.
Joe, were you ever thrown out of games as a football coach?
I was not, but I received multiple penalties. I don't like over officious officials, but I actually when I was coaching at UTEP one time, I was chasing an official down the sidelines. I had a clipboard in my hand, and for some reason I came over the top and the clipboard left my hand. And it was like slow motion. I saw the clipboard going towards the official's head, and it was like, oh no. And it whizzed past his head. Didn't hit him, thank God, but I got a 15-yard penalty. So I'm glad I didn't hit him with the clipboard.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, you guys, one final thing about, Jim Morris and hearing. If you had some advice for folks who are listening today when it comes to the whole hearing aid situation and what they should do, what piece of advice would you give somebody who's thinking about that step and saying, yeah, maybe not?
I would say quickly, you have a lot of options out there. You could go to Change. You could go to a place where you could take a number and you could go in and get a hearing aid, and that person may not be in the store next week. You could go to a drugstore and plop something in your ear that amplifies the sound. But if you really want to do it right with someone who's knowledgeable and truly cares and will follow up, that is Jim.
All right, Mike.
I would just say that get past yourself. That's the first thing. Get past your ego. Get past the fact that you would be struggling to feel that you had something attached either in your ear or attached that wraps around your ear. Get past all that. I thought the greatest example was about 3 nights ago at a meeting with 10 people, and one of the ladies at the table, as the gentleman was speaking, she just held her hair. She went, "Hold, stop." She goes, "My battery just ran out." And she happened to have one where she had to change her batteries. She stopped the meeting, took it off in like 10 seconds, she had a new battery in there, put it back on. She said, okay, we can go. Otherwise, she said, I would not have been able to hear anything. And it was like to see how this lady, very intelligent, a high-level executive, how she got past it. She was not ashamed to say, I need a 10-second timeout to change the battery so I can hear what this meeting is all about and what you're saying. She did it, moved on, and it never fazed her, and it shouldn't faze you as an individual if you want to be able to stay up with what's going on in your surroundings.
Amen.
That's great advice. Absolutely great advice. And you guys have been wonderful. I appreciate you coming on with us today. This has been very fun. I could talk to you for forever and ever, but I have to go on to the next segment. So thank you very much. And
Pam, it was great to be with you. And Mike, it was great to meet you.
Joe, let's get together for dinner one night. Pam,
that's a deal.
We'll let you know how it was, Pam.
Thank you. Appreciate that, guys. All right, we will be back for our final segment, Health Week at Hearing.
Because the news never stops, and neither do we. News Talk 1480, WHBC.
The radio is all yours.
1480.
It matters and it makes a difference, and we just want to say thank you.
All in one place at WHBC.com.
I'm Jim Michaels. Thanks for listening to 1480 WHBC.